On the internet, they say that thanks to the Bloodline, SmackDown really brings the cinema. This week, thanks to the Judgement Day and Liv Morgan, Raw really brings the soap opera. And they also brought some pretty good matches too. These are my assorted thoughts on the June 3rd, 2024 WWE RAW. Welcome to Silo Voice Wrestling on YouTube, the Silo Voice Wrestling podcast. From Silo Voice Studios in Montreal, I'm Jason C. McLean. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and of course, ring that bell for notifications to get all my wrestling hot takes, cold takes, predictions, opinion pieces, and now reviews. Well, sort of. I'm going to do full reviews for premium live events, and I'm going to do assorted thoughts for Raw and SmackDown. Let me know in the comments if you like this format. So on the June 3rd Raw, we picked up right where we left off. On the previous Raw, it ended with the kiss scene around the world, except for certain people watching on the USA Network in the United States where it got cut off. Liv Morgan kissed Dominik Mysterio. And this week, after welcoming everyone to the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour, Morgan in the ring started talking about kissing Dom, and Dom came out. I love how even in the midst of all this, where we really want to hear what he has to say, the crowd was still booing to the point where he couldn't talk, but it was still fun. Liv basically almost seduced him. It seemed like he was going to go for it, but Finn Balor put a stop to that. Liv agreed to leave for a moment, only to return to save Dom from Braun Strowman, leading to a Judgment Day beatdown of Strowman. I like how for the second week in a row, they're weaving the Liv and Judgment Day story throughout the show with backstage segments. Liv comes back in an angle that's not specifically a Dom angle. I think it's great. I love this kind of storytelling. I love this soap opera aspect. Wrestling's always been a soap opera kind of, but they're really emphasizing it now, which is great. Now, as for what's happening, at first I thought that Dom was actually secretly in cahoots with Liv, and they were just sort of playing this out publicly. That might still be the case, but I also think that maybe Finn Balor is actually working this whole thing behind the scenes, pretending to stop Liv. When she tells Liv to go away, he's basically saying, not now, the plan's not ready yet. Maybe he's in cahoots with Liv to take over the Judgment Day and kick out Priest. I don't think I'm the only one who's had this opinion, but I'm the one you're listening to right now, so I'm going to voice that opinion. Anyways, I love this stuff on the show. I think it's a great addition to Raw. It's the most interesting thing we have going on Raw. But of course, match-wise, we have some great matches, starting with Ludwig Kaiser versus Sheamus. This is just one of the many banger after banger after bang. Okay, it wasn't that good overall, but this match, though, was surprisingly good. I think, look how they're really giving Ludwig Kaiser a push, how he's not just in Gunther's shadow and how he can hold his own with Sheamus and how, in fact, he beat Sheamus. Yeah, it was through a small package, but he had Sheamus down. The referee even asking him if he wants to give up, almost going to call off the match, and Sheamus gets up. I think we got a real program here, and I'm looking forward to their next match. Who knows? They might even do it at a PLE. We also had Braun Breaker versus Ricochet. Or rather, Ricochet holding his own for a few minutes and then Braun Breaker completely demolishing him. I'm looking forward to Braun versus Ilya. Maybe even a 2-on-1 match, Ilya and Ricochet versus Braun, and Braun still wins. I mean, no disrespect to Ilya or Ricochet, but Braun's going somewhere. He's going somewhere big real soon. And we had an impromptu WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. Champions Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defending against challengers Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler. It was a good match, a solid match, and it was going to end as I predicted, with as everyone probably predicted, with eventually Bianca Belair getting the victory. The opponents did look tough, but of course Bianca was going to win after the KOD. But then we had Alba Fire and Isla Dawn come in, causing the disqualification. Then with Baszler and Stark's help, they demolished the champions. Now, I think this is obviously leading to a PLE match, or a match either on Clash at the Castle or before it, with the other Scottish competitors, Fire and Dawn, fighting the tag team champs, of course, losing. I hope it's actually on the PLE, although it's going to be 3 Scottish heels in 3 different matches. These two, Piper Niven and Drew McIntyre, although Drew's probably going to be a situational babyface, but they're probably going to put it on the pre-show. I'd like the Women's Tag Team Championships to get a bit more prominence, and I'd like this feud maybe to continue after the PLE, because obviously Bianca and Jade are going to win, assuming it's actually on there at all. These weren't the only matches on Raw, but they were definitely the best this week. And I'm including Finn Balor versus Dragon Lee. Decent match. Good to see Finn get a win. And I'm also including Damian Priest versus Rey Mysterio, which is a marquee match. Wasn't for the championship. Both matches went pretty much how I expected. They were good. But of course, the last match was mainly about the angle, was mainly about Drew McIntyre coming in to set up Clash of the Castle even more. But still, it was nice to see some really solid matches on a random Raw. But of course, at the top of the 9 o'clock hour, we got Sami Zayn, the Intercontinental Champion. Sami's really over. It's great to see, and I was definitely excited to see him. But I'm sure my excitement and everyone's excitement was partially due to the fact that we knew what kind of segment we were going to get next. Sami asks Chad Gable to come to the ring without the Alpha Academy, but instead he sends the Alpha Academy. Maxine Dupree very sadly reads a note from Gable demanding a title shot. Zayn gives it to him and then starts to talk to the much abused members of the Alpha Academy, but then of course Gable attacks him from behind. Gable hits him with the expected German suplex, then tries to get the Alpha Academy to attack him. Maxine and Tozawa are kicked out of the ring, and Otis actually gets in Chad Gable's face. Huge crowd pop. Otis doesn't get to fully turn because Sami Zayn wakes up, fights Gable, accidentally bashes into Otis, who knocks Maxine Dupree and Tozawa off the ring apron, injuring them. And Otis attacks Sami Zayn. And Chad Gable praises his number one guy, as well as Maxine and Tozawa backstage. I love this storyline. It's fantastic. I especially love Gable as a heel. He's the perfect heel. I didn't know we needed this, but we definitely need this. And I'm so waiting for Otis to finally turn on him, even if that means Sami Zayn's going to lose the championship. But Gable and Otis could be a good feud. I'm a huge Sami Zayn booster, but he could go on maybe to a world title. I like the way that they're weaving it into the show. The only thing is I wish it wasn't such a glacial pace. I wish it was going a little bit faster, but of course, good things come to those who wait. And the way that Gable pretended like he didn't realize Maxine was really hurt and that he had done nothing wrong to them, that just shows his own like ambivalence to other people. And of course, there was a little scene you could see later in the episode where you actually see Gable talking to the Creed brothers. So I think he has his backup, even if the Alpha Academy finally turns on him. So I'm looking forward to what's going to happen next. And this was a great addition to Raw. And I always love seeing Sami Zayn getting a huge pop as well, too. Of course, there were some other things I noticed on the show. Main event Jey Uso is as over as ever. Yeet. Yeah, sorry. I like to say that. Amazing aura in the crowd. Jey didn't even need to go down to the ring to make his speech. He made a good promo. He talked about how he's going to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match, which I think is a great idea. I think he's going to win it, and I hope his cash-in is successful. I thought for a second, wait a second, he's been around for a while. He's a major star. Why would he be in Money in the Bank? But he's only been a single star for a little while. He actually kind of, I think, needs this kind of a push, even though he's incredibly over. Also, Lyra Valkyria is going to be in Money in the Bank. I don't think she's going to win. I think Tiffany Stratton's going to win, but she's maybe a close runner-up in my books at this point. Also, we saw the debut of Kiana James against Natalya. Decent match, decent debut. I don't know if her I'm a business person gimmick is going to get over on the main roster like maybe it did in NXT, but who knows. Also, we also had Braun Strowman destroying Carlito. That was mainly a setup for the Liv angle, which we talked about earlier, but it's good that Braun's getting some matches. That's how I saw Monday Night Raw for June 3rd, 2024. I know some of their main players are out at the moment, but they're making the most with the people they have. Great soap opera storytelling with the Judgement Day and Liv Morgan, some really good matches. I enjoyed this show, and I'm looking forward to the next one. And of course, I'm looking forward to Clash at the Castle. So that's what I thought about Raw. What did you think about Raw? Did you agree with my take? Do you have your own take? Also, do you like this new format? Not really a review, just sort of what I noticed, my key takeaways, my assorted thoughts. Let me know in the comments. Follow at Silo Wrestling on X, at SVS Reviews on Instagram and Facebook, and me at Jason C. McLean on X and Instagram. And I'll be back this week with an opinion video, also a review of SmackDown. Next week, I'll have my Clash at the Castle predictions. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. For Silo Voice Studios in Montreal, I'm Jason C. McLean.